Hey everyone, it's Rachel, and today we're going to look at the new moon um, for April. And for some people, it'll be happening on Sunday, the 27th, and for others, it'll be happening on Monday. So in my time zone, the new moon will be exactly at 3:31 Eastern time, and it's in Sidereal Aries. Which is Sidereal is real star time. So I have this app I love to use. And if you love the stars and astrology, it's called Star Walk 2. I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really cool. And you can punch in different stars, celestial bodies. You want to see it in the sky. And it'll tell you its exact position um, on the day in which it's going to take place. Um, and so I recommend that app if you're into that. So I wrote down what was coming through. I'm going to keep it relatively quick today. So it's a new cycle, a new beginning, like every new moon. This one's similar. I don't know if this was the new moon or the reading I did for the month of April. But more innovation coming through, new ways of doing things, new ideas, still very present. There's a fire component. So we have Aries, which is a fire sign. So there is passion, passion in people to move forward. Fear is dropping away and being transformed into passion. And that's literally what happens, right? So the shadow side is fear, the light side is passion. And it's what gets us to do things. It fuels us into action. So fear being transformed into passion to take positive action and move towards more positive change. There's still this water element that's present, and I'm guessing that's Pisces. Um, that's my guess because of the energy that they were showing me and I was feeling. So it's still at play here for this cycle. Still more waves of emotion coming up, clearing out. Um, People really being with their feelings, how they feel about different things, for themselves, what they see in the world, why they're feeling what they're feeling. There's still layers of grief that are present in the collective, and that'll be processed out, more layers of grief. There's still people that aren't seeing the light, the path forward. And so, what I mean by that is, for some of us, it may feel like we're sort of still stuck in what's going on. Things feel very hard. I'm having difficult time with this. When are things going to change? Everything feels like it's getting worse, collapsing. I'm losing my money. All these different sorts of feelings that are coming up, and hyper focused on those things. And for those people, they might not be able to see um, the light out of the tunnel or the light through the tunnel. So some of us are able to see it. Okay, we have a glimpse of the way forward and out of how things look. For other people, they don't have a sight of that yet. Um, and that's okay, right? That's why we need to have compassion for all people, because we're we're all doing the best we can with what we have, and the resources we have, the knowledge we have, the access we have. So wherever you are, it's all okay. It's still a very dynamic lunar cycle. Um, we are shifting from what is going on and watching things collapse, like what's going on, watching things collapse around us, to taking action. We'll see more movement in government and with politicians. So for anyone that's felt like, you know, to politicians, whatever country it is, like, do your job, why are things like this? You could be doing more. You'll start to see more action taking place. Um, they won't just be waiting and watching, especially here in the States. I mean, that's kind of how it's felt like. But they too will be taking the steps to move forward. Some of these people will be outspoken. So, this is that independent nature of Aries. Like, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't care what people think. I don't care if anyone's with me, but in the back of my mind, I know there are people with me. They're going to follow me because that's Aries, right? You're the leader of the zodiac. And so with that leading energy, just gonna do it. And everyone else is gonna understand why, and they're gonna follow me after I do it. I'm just gonna say it. And they'll get it later. But it's not waiting to have, a whole group of people having your back before taking action. Um, yeah, so some people will be outspoken in regards to like politics. Not that they have to be a politician, but regarding politics. And the fear is dropping away. Passion and courage is what's shining through in this lunar cycle. Now, coming back into the water element, that's present. So we're going to see how they put it is that things are going to be washed away, like a big ocean wave coming, washing things away. So this could be like, literal water, rain, flooding. It doesn't feel, well, you have to sort of look at different places on the world. So I won't go into, diving that deep into that aspect, but that it could manifest in that way where it could be, a lot more water present, where it's sort of clearing things because water is another way to clear things. Fire, water, strong wind. Um, and it can be things sort of like, more figuratively speaking. And water, just like wind, when it's clearing, it moves quickly, right? It's not this sort of slow, steady push. It's going to come in, again, very dynamic, the energy. After things get washed away, we see the rubble left. That's how they put it. They showed it like like the very base of a building, or you can think of it like the bones that are left. And this will be some of what the foundation is from which we rebuild again. So what they mean by that is, whether it's a physical building or an idea, um, or a place or a role, there are some things that are just going to be completely wiped clean, wiped out, gone. And there'll be sort of crumbs left. And those crumbs are going to look at them, okay, and say, what can we keep from this? What can we learn from what's here, what's left? And then how can we just begin to rebuild from here? Yeah, it's kind of just sort of like, you know, not even starting, but it's just like, okay, this is what's left. What do we do with it? All right. But eventually we'll be rebuilding from it. The cycle will feel like a whirlwind, lots of movement, many things taking place and shifting from one to the next quickly. And that's the Aries energy again, like a fire, you know, moves quick, decisively, doesn't always take much pause when, or thought before, actions and decisions are made. And that's really what the moment calls for, though, in a lot of ways, depending. Because you can look at, you can look at that either way. If you like what someone's doing versus what someone's not doing, or you like what's taking place or you don't, right? If you're in agreement with it, if you're not. So if you're not, then those decisions that are being made, you may be, having more of those feelings like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But if they're decisions you do agree with, It's like, great, let's keep doing that. So there'll be that dynamic. And then the last thing they said was, get ready. Things are going to heat up. But this feels positive. Again, this is all sort of moving us forward in the right direction. Eventually, it's going to get a lot better than what it is now. This is all eventually going to bring us into a much more balanced, healed world amongst ourselves, but also in relationship with the earth. So let's see what the cards have to say, or what's out of my awareness that the cards can bring into my awareness around this lunar cycle. Freedom. I think this is a theme that's been reoccurring. Yes, that's what we're going towards. That's what we want to keep working towards. Freedom for all people, not just some people, but all people. Yeah, this is the excitement. And it says exuberance. And that's not necessarily joy, but again, it's this like movement. Things are moving. It's that fiery energy. There's an excitement, the passion. That's that. Yeah. People are going to feel propelled. Planning. This feels, again, more government related, organizational related. So, not necessarily just the government, but organizations that potentially work with the government or are affected by the government, planning ahead. What are our next steps forward, and getting really clear on that. Um, it's like preparing for things to shift even more. Taking like power back, feeling less like a victim, right? Like, I'm being affected by this. This is happening to me. And instead of that energy, it's moving into, this is what's happening. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to take care of things. Yeah. We just have to be patient with everything. It's going to take time. All of it. Okay. All right. Other card deck. I want to pull some cards from this one. Dream time. Oh, this is a dynamic one. Okay. They're saying this has to also do with like karma. So the dream time is, sort of that, it's like a place we go to where we can connect to spirit more easily. We can see things we couldn't see with our physical eyes, feel, hear things, with our um, non-physical senses. They're saying this has to do with karma too, and tapping into the karmic cycles that are present right now, and the karma that's clearing up for individuals, for the collective, mostly for the individuals and the collective. Okay, let me see what else. Yeah, so it's always possible to shift timelines. Okay, timelines can change from day to day, and they change based off of our actions, right? And so our actions shift energy. And when energy shifts, it can shift a timeline that we're on. And so there's something about the timelines right now where it's like there's a potential, or hold on, let me just, okay, the 1 second. Yeah, they're saying it's like things are running out of time for some people. And so certain people's timelines, doing the roles or having the roles that they have, doing the work that they're doing is running up. They're running out of time. Um, so there will be some sort of flailing. Again, that's that fire energy, like a bit like a volcano erupting. trying to resist that timeline. But that's not how you change a timeline. Um, so that's something to look at and be mindful of because, that sort of tick tock, time's up, somebody new's coming in, things are going to shift. That's what this card's about. Again, dynamic card. Activation with that fire energy, passion moving forward. Yeah, and then we have a breakthrough. So there's a lot happening this lunar cycle. It's still like, hold on to your seats. It's going to be a ride, but hopefully you are feeling more positive and confident and not so fearful, or things aren't feeling as scary. Um, but and I think the other thing that's becoming more obvious to some people, not all people yet, is who's so how do I want to put this? Like the type of player people are. If we think of life as a game we're all playing, which is, I think, a really healthy way of looking at it. There's no right or wrong. Um, different choices take you to different worlds and different experiences. But there's players that are more positive. There's players that are more negative. There's players that, are more peaceful. There's players that are more destructive. So I think what is becoming more and more clear, to most people, is the kind of player these people who are in the spotlight are. And that in of itself, I think, is reassuring. And because when you know something, when you truly know something and understand something, that gives you power. That gives you power to take action for yourself. And again, it takes you out of that victimhood, the victim energy, into one of empowering yourself. So, happy new moon.